there's a culture in different places that you work that is toxic.
After Amanda Seales left The Real, she exposed a lot of shocking things about the show and her co-host, from shocking disagreements to behind-the-scenes tension. You won't believe what Amanda revealed about her former co-host's behavior. Amanda had an open discussion with comedian Godfrey on Instagram Live, and the clips from their conversation had been going viral. She opened up about every single thing that happened on The Real, starting with her reason for leaving. In her words, her time on the show felt like a betrayal to her people. She stated that the show crushed her spirits as she was asked not to discuss certain things. On top of that, she said that being on the show felt inappropriate because the people weren't honest with her, as they were scared of how brutally direct she was. This really caught everyone's attention, and Amanda went on to give examples of how she was mistreated and shut off from expressing her cultural background on the show.
I can't change myself, but the world hates me.
In one of her experiences, she explained that she was assigned a white female producer to help with the task of putting together her segment of Smart, Funny, and Black on the show. That was the huge problem, because Smart, Funny, and Black is a game Amanda created to test one's knowledge of Black popular culture. So she expected to work with a producer who could understand these things, but that obviously didn't happen. And in fact, things escalated in a huge fight when Amanda asked the producer why she was the one working on the segment, and this ended with the producer bursting into tears and accusing Amanda of attacking her. But that was just one of the main incidents that made Amanda feel uncomfortable with the show. Apparently, apart from the whole situation with Smart, Funny, and Black segment, every other aspect of the show, including the popular girl chat segment, was supervised by white producers. Amanda revealed that the show was owned by a white woman, and most of the executives were also white, and they were the ones who chose the topics they talked about on the show. As if that wasn't enough, the discussions were also produced by a man who was unfortunately disconnected from the topics due to his own life experiences and race. In another situation or show, this wouldn't have mattered as much, but with The Real, the majority of the cast was Black, and the topics were also supposed to be centered around Black culture. Amanda barely shared her truth, but instead of getting support, she began receiving massive backlash. She used to get many troll comments on The Real's Instagram page, and this happened again during her conversation with Godfrey. It was absolutely insane, because back then when Amanda was on The Real, she got trolled so badly that her fellow co-host Lonnie Love actually had to come to her defense and tell fans to leave her alone. But this time, Lonnie was nowhere to be found because she and Amanda had a huge falling out. It all started when Lonnie unfollowed Amanda on Instagram after her appearance on an episode of the Jason Lee Show. During the show, Jason asked Amanda an interesting question about Lonnie. He asked her if she thought Lonnie was the mean woman that everyone called her, and Amanda sidestepped Jason's question with a sneaky reply. She commented that her energy had been high lately, and she would rather not reply to that question about Lonnie. Amanda's answer went viral, as many tried to make sense of why she wouldn't say no, but also didn't say yes. As a result of the scandal, people dug up footage from 2020 of when Lonnie said something unusual in an interview with the Ricky Smiley Morning Show days after Amanda left the show. Lonnie jokingly told Ricky that Amanda had been on The Real for only 5 days, but she had already had enough. Then she tried to downplay her comments by saying that Amanda's leaving wasn't because of the co-host. Rather, it was the decision of the studio. This, however, didn't erase the initial impression her comment gave, because fans noted that this wasn't the first time Lonnie talked badly about Amanda. There had been a mild incident on the show that escalated completely unnecessarily, as Lonnie told Amanda off for cutting her off when she was trying to speak. So it wasn't hard for people to conclude that there was some underlying tension between the two women, and this was seemingly confirmed by Amanda's comment and attitude on Jason Lee's show. Plus, in her interview with Godfrey on Instagram, Amanda commented that she was happy to leave the show because people would speak to her in disparaging ways. But the interesting thing is that Lonnie wasn't the only co-host who got into a tiff with Amanda on the show. Amanda and Jeannie Mai got into a very heated debate in an episode of The Real from February 2020. Their argument was about Choosy Somalia's hate crime hoax from January 2019. Amanda argued that this was a noble act while Jeannie strongly disagreed. Jeannie then grew frustrated with Amanda and tried one last time to explain her viewpoint, but she did it in a way that came off like she was putting Amanda down. These examples are just times when the disagreement between the co-host was public, so it's possible that there was even more that happened behind the scenes, because there seems to be a pattern with the co-hosts being catty toward each other. In particular, Tamar Braxton, who Amanda replaced on the show, was also in a similar situation. Tamar being fired was the hot topic of 2016, with many people alleging that it had something to do with Lonnie Love and the other co-host. Tamar's words sort of confirmed this. In an Instagram post that she made shortly after her departure, she revealed that she had been betrayed, and shortly before Amanda's departure in June 2020, Tamar appeared on an episode of The Wendy Williams Show for an expose of her ex-colleague. She called him catty, and after the show, she posted a text conversation with an unknown source on Instagram. The text was accusing Lonnie Love of writing letters to the network to get Tamar fired. The source additionally reported that Lonnie actually wrote the letters in Tamar's absence while she was undergoing surgery and was away from the show. This resulted in a public argument as Lonnie responded and accused Tamar of using her for publicity. Things got really heated on Twitter. However, in a shocking turn of events, it was revealed that Lonnie wasn't the one behind Tamar getting fired. E! News stated that a representative from the show revealed that the reason for Tamar's firing had nothing to do with the co-host, and it was really just between her and the show. Curiously, the same pattern happened with Amanda. When the gossip started getting out of hand and people were seeking to hold her co-host accountable for her departure, Amanda stepped forward to debunk the rumors. She shared on Instagram that Lonnie and her fellow co-hosts were not responsible for anything. She stated that she was also quite amused that the fans even amused that in the first place. She also emphasized what she said in her interview on the Jason May show. Amanda told Jason that Adrian and Jeannie were her friends and supporters from day one on the show. Regarding Lonnie and Tamara, Amanda said they weren't particularly friends, but they were very cordial, and she had no ill feelings toward any of them. However, it seems the network took all the things Amanda said into account because they decided to omit her from the finale of the show, which featured all the hosts that anchored the series during its 8-season run. So Amanda called them out for being disrespectful on Instagram. She went on to say that her conclusion was intentional. She also revealed that her former co-hosts Adrian and Jeannie had reached out to her to say that they didn't agree with what happened to her either, which makes sense since it did seem pretty rude. But what do you guys think about all of this? Was the problem really with the studio and network, or do you think it had something to do with Amanda's co-host? Let me know in the comments below.